Stereotypes and stigmas associated with mental illness in the law enforcement community have historically created a culture that often ignores the stress and mental anguish officers face. KV Defender Dalton Huey has the story of one retired detective and the efforts underway to protect those who protect us.
Sometimes what you can't see is worse than what you can.
I see the walking wounded on a daily basis, and they're not getting help.
On August 12, 2016, devastating news forced local law enforcement to confront the reality of mental illness in its own family. It was a death, a suicide. Sergeant Craig Hutchinson.
When you don't have the kind of resources that you need and you have a culture that isn't comfortable talking about mental health conditions, you create the kind of culture that puts people in great risk.
1 in 5 people in the United States will face a mental health condition this year. Research suggests it's actually much higher among cops. That conversation in the public and in the military is finally happening, but it seems no one is talking about the problem with law enforcement. No one, it seemed, until Sergeant Hutchinson's suicide.
A lot of my staff are hurting. And we're going to address that at Travis County. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to address that issue.
That statement left retired Travis County Detective Chris Orton heartbroken. He had tried to be a part of the solution for years.
I was so mad and sad.
Orton dedicated 4 years of his career to teaching and developing peer support and mental health training for fellow Travis County officers.
Maybe Hutch would have signed up to go to the training and recognize something in himself. I don't know. I'll never know, obviously.
Orton was a close friend of Hutchinson and knows personally the impact a career in law enforcement can have on mental health.
In 2006, I had a full-blown nervous breakdown, was diagnosed with PTSD.
Without a single triggering event, Orton's diagnosis was termed cumulative from 19 years of work-related stress.
Workers' comp wouldn't cover cumulative.
Determined to get better, Orton spent thousands of dollars of his own money on treatment.
I pretty much suffered 07, 08, 09, 10, and even into 11. Nobody cared when I was sick. Nobody helped me. I did everything on my own.
As Orton's mental health improved, he realized he could make a difference within Travis County.
I didn't want the next guy to go through what I went through. So I started going to training and went to literally hundreds of hours of training on PTSD, suicide awareness, and lots of peer support training.
In 2011, Travis County offered a 4-hour class on PTSD once a week for 27 weeks. The class gave Orton an opportunity to share his story, which he did 27 times.
In the 27 classes, at least one, and as many as 5, in every class we taught, somebody reached out for help. For a therapist, for a counselor, a psychologist.
So Orton requested to develop a peer support team at Travis County. Sheriff Greg Hamilton approved. His major did not, telling Orton,
if we train people to be peer support people, they're going to think that they're counselors. And the person that I was talking to had zero knowledge of peer support, zero experience.
Orton and a team of colleagues did in fact develop a 4-hour peer support class. By 2014, with the class still thriving, Orton decided to revisit the possibility of forming a peer support team. The sheriff, along with Orton's chain of command, approved.
I received probably 50 applications.
Everything appeared to be moving in the right direction until a lieutenant got promoted to captain over Orton's command.
I knew for a fact this person was not supportive of peer support or me.
For the second time, Orton's efforts were called into question. Within a few months, Orton was called into his sergeant's office.
She said, per the captain, you're no longer to teach. It was like I got hit in the stomach. And I just sat there.
Orton returned to his desk and wrote a letter of resignation from the Peer Support Initiative. To his disbelief, his letter of resignation was approved without question by the sheriff.
The sheriff actually hugged me one time and gave me a coin and said, I heard that you've helped save lives, jobs, and marriages. And I just smiled and said, oh, I've heard that too.
Then, this past October, after 29 years with the Travis County Sheriff's Office, 3 months after his friend Sergeant Craig Hutchinson committed suicide, Detective Chris Orton retired.
I just couldn't watch it anymore. So it was time for me to leave.
His is a cautionary tale, one he hopes will trigger change within a profession screaming silently for help. In November 2015, Travis County hired its first staff psychologist. She will begin providing mental health training to cadets in the academy next year. Travis County is currently exploring the possibility of implementing peer support and critical incident stress management. We asked 8 of the largest law enforcement agencies in Texas about their mental health support services. 4 of the 8 have staff psychologists, 6 of the 8 have peer support programs. For The Defenders, I'm Dalton Huey.